Tim's camera's doing the zoomy thing. Your camera has the zoomies.
It's probably because I walked away from it and I came back.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Last Call. And I don't know how we get any more raunchier than we were in the first fucking thing. Dropping the masturbation bomb like at the very beginning. You are wiped out from whatever you did yesterday.
I was in Chicago.
Chicago's a good time.
It was a good time. It was a great time. Great time in Chicago.
I've never had a bad time in Chicago.
It's a nice city. I mean, obviously, if you're there and it's like snowing and miserable.
I was there between like after Christmas and then went home for New Year's, and I was back the following week. I was like the last week of December and the first week of January for an implementation.
Oof, that's cold and snowy.
Yeah, it actually didn't snow until the very end of it. It was just blistering cold.
I know. I remember when I graduated college and I went up to a friend's wedding in Chicago. I was thinking about, I'll maybe move to Chicago. That sounds cool. And then it was like mid-October, and I got off the plane. It was okay because whatever, jetway. And I got downtown. I'm like, holy shit, it's cold here. Hell no, I'm not moving here.
Yeah, Chicago is definitely one of those cities that it's great to visit, never to live in.
Well, and I've always heard it's just 3 months. There's 3 nice months.
3 nice months.
3 months that you want to be there, and that's it. And they're great. They're phenomenal. They're better than most other places. But and then outside of that, you're like, I'll be somewhere else, please.
And I'll put an asterisk on that as well. I think there is a difference if you grew up and were raised in Chicago, because Chicagoans are some of the most proud people of where they're from. Like they really. Granted, living in Atlanta and also being a transplant myself, there's not a lot of pride in Atlanta by the locals, but Chicago, Boston, New York, those people take pride in being from there, and so those people would totally disagree with me about it being a great place to visit and not to live.
And then there's Philadelphians who that's a special.
Yeah, well, those aren't even real people, so I don't really care about that.
Yeah.
How do I?
But yeah,
change the options on this.
It was a good time in Chicago, and extremely tired, but happy to be home. Because everyone at I was at a conference, and everyone that's staying till Thursday afternoon, there's snow coming, so they're all freaking out, like they want to get out of there sooner, and they can't because all the flights are already full. But yeah, I missed all the Georgia State talk. Hey, I didn't even think, since it's now. Wait, what's today? Wednesday.
I have no idea.
Holy shit! The tournament starts tomorrow. Too late.
Yeah. I mean, I think I saw a thing that the brackets needed to be put in today. I was wondering where you were going with that, but I knew you were busy, so I wasn't going to do it, and I didn't want to do something myself because you already have the history and stuff.
Did we do that? Did we?
We did.
We don't have one.
Oh, okay. No. That's fine. That's cool.
We could just do a fun one. Hey, if you do it, good for you.
Yeah.
Shit happens, man. It's all good.
I thought about it on Sunday, and then I got tied up with.
Oh, good weekend, huh?
Yeah. No, got tied up with work. Ooh, even better.
What did I do on Sunday? Oh, Sunday I went up to the wine store and celebrated St. Patty's Day by myself while my kid rode her bike around the park over and over again. It was great. It was a good time.
Nice. Yeah. It's good having that close by.
So they've got to do a groundbreaking ceremony for baseball, right?
No.
Did they do one for basketball? They did one for basketball, didn't they? For the Convocation Center?
They did. Yeah, they'll do it. It'll make an event. It'll be just like the basketball one. I remember going to that.
Yeah. I know they did the ribbon cutting ceremony for basketball when we all got let in. It was actually a groundbreaking ceremony.
Maybe
that's the question.
Maybe there wasn't. I don't think there was. Oh, didn't we start? No. I'm too tired. When did the box open? What year?
We've done 3 seasons in it. So
maybe it was COVID, so they didn't allow anyone to come to the groundbreaking.
Yeah, we definitely did not like outdoor events during COVID. That's true.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would have been right at COVID. Well, it would have already started before then, right? They would have already broken ground on it before then, because wasn't our last game was that the game we don't talk about?
That game. It is
And
that.
so it would
That,
it would
that
it would have
was the
had to have already
last
been
game.
built by then.
Oh
Yeah.
no! It wasn't. No, because remember the next season they had like the weird seating in the sports arena.
Oh
Remember?
yeah.
Like people were spread out. They took rows away to keep fans away from the players, and
Did I
some
even
people.
go to games that season? I don't remember. Or did they have the pack events? Was I just in pack
I
event
don't think so.
space the
Not
entire
that year.
time?
Yeah, I don't think so. Not that year. They just had like a
Huh.
really small attendance. I remember that. I mean, smaller than normal.
Yeah.
Small.
Well, yeah, small for Georgia State. Microscopic for anybody else.
It feels weird to say that as a Georgia State fan. Small. Well, I mean, smaller than Georgia State normal.
Yeah. I think today's I retweeted something saying today was the history of the shot.
Yeah, I saw that. Man, reliving that memory is the best.
It's got to be the best sports moment in Georgia State history.
Easily, you can't replicate it. I mean, you can, but it's almost a once in a lifetime thing.
Second is either
Shorter.
well, and I was gonna say it's either beating Wisconsin back in Idaho
That was
or
big too.
or the Tennessee game.
Ooh. Tennessee.
Tennessee's bigger. I mean, it's more recent. There's some recency bias there.
A little bit, but like that was a program moment. It was a marker. It was a milestone. So was Wisconsin too, right? I mean, it was big too.
That was a lefty team. That was a lefty doing stuff, but lefty doing lefty things. So, right?
Yeah, and then maybe fourth is shorter. Our first game, I don't know.
Probably shorter.
Yeah,
third. Yeah, I think that Wisconsin game you can probably slot in anywhere depending on when your fandom began of Georgia State. If we're talking about people that have only been paying attention since we had football, that Wisconsin game is probably not even top 10. But I think if you actually look at Georgia State, if we talk to Dave Cohen about the most monumental days in Georgia State history, I imagine he would say that the Wisconsin game is probably right up there.
We should get his top 5.
Yeah.
Just have him on, talk about it. That's it.
Great off-season topic.
Yep.
We're going to need some stuff now. Basketball's over. Baseball's doing its baseball thing, but none of us have the time to go to a lot of game and do stuff. Yeah.
Spring balling. We need to go to a baseball game.
We do need to get a baseball game. I haven't looked at the schedule yet to figure out when I can and can't go, but we got to do a baseball game for sure. I actually like going out there. It sucks how far away it is and the facility sucks. But the good thing about it is because it sucks so bad, you can do whatever the hell you want out there. I shouldn't say whatever though. You can come and go.
It's not reason.
Like yeah. I mean, you can come and go. It's open. It's like going to a little park and watching your kids' little league game. But it's grown men playing
for
baseball.
Adults.
And some of those families, they set up that entire like grill space back there, and they're just like chowing down, having like massive ass tailgates. Yeah, I need to get in with those guys.
Yeah,
maybe
the team deserves attention too. They're killing it right now.
Yeah, especially a program based in Atlanta should definitely have a lot more attention towards baseball. And I know Tech doesn't get it, but I think that Georgia State playing where they're going to be playing and everything, I think it makes a lot of sense to. With the Braves having moved out of the area, they should find a way to kind of when they should market when the baseball park opens is baseball returns to downtown Atlanta.
Nice. I like that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna buy season tickets. I'm gonna buy them. I mean, it's a donation. It's a donation.
Season tickets for baseball?
Yeah,
I would totally do it. Totally. It can't be that expensive. I mean, they'll find a way to make it expensive.
$120 a ticket.
You actually to get the privilege of it, you have to donate $2,500. That's
just to be able to buy baseball tickets.
Benefit is access to season tickets for baseball.
Yeah.
Better.
Without it, you guys stand on that blue wall in the very, very far outfield up top.
Oh yeah, that'll be my seat. My seat will be back out there in the blue lot, overlooking.
Yeah, you'll just be drinking at the Magnolias.
I'm gonna fall out of those off that wall, aren't I?
Yeah, definitely.
I
Well,
hope
how
not.
cool would it be if they actually were able to build like seating or like
From there,
balconies, like right over there, kind of overlooking the whole thing? It'd be kind of cool.
it would be cool.
If they had a problem where they needed more seating and that was the solution, that would be really cool. But
Hey
if
Ryan, you are obviously more sober than I am. I need you to
We're
get on my level.
we're
well, I took a
dreamers.
gummy right before the first, so it should be kicking in any time. But
Uh-oh.
Yeah, they could have concessions out there too.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what happens with the rest of that space, right? Once we keep building pieces of the puzzle for
Yeah,
our
it'll be interesting to see what that whole area looks like in 5 or 10 years. You know, have we pressure washed the park yet?
Mm, I hear that's overrated.
They did replace the signage outside.
They did. I saw that Tuesday morning
Yeah.
driving down to go to the airport. I was like, "Oh, yeah, the signs looks good."
what, at Center Park?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
On
cool.
the interstate side.
That's great.
Yeah. Instead
Yeah.
of the,
Probably
like,
probably your least viewed side of the
faded.
whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and I'm not even anywhere near the neighborhood now, so.
Right. I'm saying that even back then, it was probably your least viewed side of the stadium.
Yeah, I would talk about how often people see the highway side of it, but it was never me. But there are lots of people on 85, 70 on the connector, like, that travel past that. So it's like it's really important to get it right. And every time I would, which wasn't very often, I was like, why is this shitty, the shitty signage out here? It doesn't
I
make
just
all weather
I just
worn.
remember when I was in Louisville driving by their football stadium is like right off the highway in Louisville, and there's like 2 or 3 mile stretches. That logo is just everywhere, and it's
That's
very, very
awesome.
obvious that you're passing the University of Louisville and their athletics program,
Mhm.
and it's just blatant, so blatant. And we have a little bit of that, but I guess because the way a campus is laid out is so spread out. Like once you get a little bit further up, you see like there's that dorm building on the west side of the connector over there, and then you can
Right.
see some smaller things, around there. But yeah, it was very, very obvious in Louisville that you were driving right past a major university's campus or right through a major university's campus. It'd be nice to see something like that. But I mean, even then, Tech really only has that 80-year-old video board
That illegal
and
video board.
and our dorms is all they really have.
Yeah, I mean, so when I was driving past Jimmy Mad's, they had a tractor trailer parked on a hill, and it was pretty cool. I mean, and then they just painted it all up in JMU stuff,
Ryan,
which
that
was
was
pretty
actually a
rad.
trailer that went off one of those ramps, those speed ramps where it lost its brakes and it went up a ramp and it got stuck and no one wanted to move it, so they just painted it purple.
Well,
And
I mean, the point there was that like it's cheap, right? I mean, they were just like, you know what, we could do the signage and or whatever, but we have to rent the property from somebody to build it and blah blah blah. We're not going to bother with all that. We're just going to park a tractor trailer in a very visible place. We have so much space. We have so many things we could do. We own large buildings in Atlanta. We could like hang giant banners
you
from
know,
if we wanted to, but we don't.
it
So
would actually be kind of
yeah.
cool. It'd be kind of cool if we did a joint effort in doing that with Georgia Tech. And you made what is
Like
that? Like
our
a
city or something, but it's
it,
our and it has
yeah.
both. It's co-branded. That'd be rad.
Well, I mean, just like
Not your city.
what is that? Like 3 or 4 or 5 miles of straight interstate that goes between the two campuses right there.
Mm.
And if you're coming in from the south side, and you just get pelted with Georgia State stuff, and then right after that, you're pelted with Georgia Tech stuff, and yeah, have some kind of co-branding about like this is like university center. I guess you can't do that because they're an institute, but
Yeah.
some kind of like academic highway. I don't. There's better names that could come up with it, but you kind of just I'd address that zone of Atlanta of
Mhm.
being the higher education. I don't know. That's all horrible names, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I
we
hear
don't we don't put you in charge of naming it. Clearly.
No, God no, God no, God no. We'll use ChatGPT for that.
Yeah.
I always like the midtown versus downtown thing because
Yeah,
it fits, you know?
that's
So
why I
that's what you
said
do. You do an R city, and then you
Mhm.
have something else on the bottom, like our city's at the top and it's co-branded, it's half and half, and at the bottom it says something about a rivalry, right? Like
Right.
about us opposing each other somehow or another. But it's like we're united
Yeah.
against you assholes. But you know, we're still like against each other. We're still fighting for the city, but like, you know,
This actually may be a
between us.
topic we bring up again, not necessarily next week, but put that on the docket for an off-season conversation to have on the actual regular podcast, because I could
But
see
this
that
is
being a
good last
good.
call stuff. Like
It is
honestly,
good. It is
we
very
talk
good.
This
about
is
Last
good
how
last
like
call.
we do delve into this stuff often at like last call even, and
Yeah, it's
this is
definitely.
this is what last call was sort of meant to be, was us like talking. I don't know. We just kind of go down rabbit holes.
Yeah, remind me we had this conversation. I'll try to maybe put out a little clip or something.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
No, I think that'd be kind of cool. The city should really embrace that. The state should embrace that. I think it'd be great advertising for both programs. Good for the city.
Right.
And really, as far as like effort, that's not a lot.
Right.
There's signage on buildings already. Just add some more and coming up with that term phrase. Do you think Georgia Tech would be on board with that?
No.
No. There's no way.
Kind
They
of
want to
puts
keep
them
us
on
at
the.
arm's length, you know?
They would definitely want to have the GT logo in front of the GSU logo.
And you know what? You just let them have that. It's fine. It's cool.
I'd be fine with that.
Yeah. I mean,
I mean,
honestly,
or if you had the same branding, but like in the downtown side, Georgia State, the Panther head was front and first, and then in Midtown, the GT was first.
yeah.
But whatever.
And we do have more to gain by doing that at this
We
point.
do. Yeah.
So it would make sense to just sort of be like, that's fine. We'll you can be first. It's cool.
Right. Well, we'll put a stink about it at first, and then cave immediately.
I don't think our administration knows how to do things like that.
No doubt about it.
Both of you
No
guys
doubt about it.
no.
Yeah, there was a poll on the Sunbelt board because people were hating on Keith Gill a lot, basically because of the South Alabama thing with the NIT as being like the most recent deal. But so they actually did a poll about a vote of no confidence, like
Oh, good.
who has and I mean, 75% of the respondents said yes, they had confidence in Keith Gill. I'm just kind of wondering if you took that same vote against like Charlie Cobb and Dr. Blake, and you put it specifically towards the social media people of Georgia State, the message, because this was a message board poll. You put it on Panther Talk and you put it out through the social media accounts. I'm betting it's not going to be 75% approval.
Well, so I'm really curious about this. Like, what has Keith Gill done? Like, how is the Sun Belt better than the Benson years right now? Like,
Well, so I actually voted yes in confidence on
you
my
son of
particular
a
thing.
bitch.
Because I was thinking about, well, so I mean, I think a vote of no confidence is, could Keith Gill be doing better for the conference? Absolutely.
Yes,
I mean,
of course.
there's very few people that you couldn't say someone could be doing better at their job. There's somebody that could do my job better. There's people that could do their job better. That doesn't mean they're not doing their job, very well. So I think that Keith Gill has not made the conference worse. So I got confidence there. We did acquire, we expand, whether you like the teams or not, we expanded the conference and definitely established the Sun Belt as a better athletic conference than the conference that we acquired the teams from.
Right.
And we're, arguably on par between certain sports on individual sports levels with the best G5, G6 conferences. So
he's done more defense, protecting the conference, protecting the brand, not letting us become the laughing stock, which is Conference USA.
I think when you're bottom of the barrel, status quo is not where you want to be. You need to be.
See, I'm saying that when we came in,
we're not bottom.
When he came in,
we were.
You could have made an argument that either way about Sun Belt or Conference USA being bottom of the barrel or MAC, throw the MAC in there or whatever.
Yeah.
I think it's very, very easy to say that since Keith Gill's been here, that the Sun Belt is head and shoulders above Conference USA and MAC. And I think on individual sport levels, they are on par with the American and with the Mountain West. So I can't say I can't. If you give me an option of no confidence, which means I think you should be removed from your post because it's detrimental to the conference if you stay in that spot, I'm not going to vote no. I think he's fine in that position. Do I want somebody that's a little bit more aggressive and going to try to shake things up, find some new ways to do something? Absolutely. I would love to
Yeah.
see somebody throw some spice in there. But that was my response
I get
or
that.
my argument, my thought process. I don't really post a lot on there.
Yeah.
Mostly because it's a bunch of garbage people.
Yeah, well, that too.
Well, and
He's
I
done enough.
I wouldn't vote no confidence and also say, we should move on.
Well, there was like some of the programs that came from Conference USA were like, if it's him or Judy, who is the commissioner of Conference USA, that I choose him every single time. And a lot of people are like, it doesn't have to be like two shitty people.
Yeah, what if we pick somebody who's amazing who could lift the conference up to
There's also 7 more billion people in the world who could be
Right,
conference
yeah.
commissioner.
Yeah, this isn't this that yeah, that's not even on the table. Like, we're not trying to hire her, you
Exactly.
wackadoo.
He's done one great thing. He moved the basketball tournament out of New Orleans.
That is good. I mean, honestly, though, as much as I hate New Orleans, it sounds like if he just moved it from where it was in New Orleans to a better spot in New Orleans, it would have been an improvement.
Remember,
But
they were
I
going
think,
to, right?
Yeah.
They're going to move it to the Smoothie King Center, and then
Were
COVID
they?
happened. Yeah, it was supposed to go there.
I still think, and I know that it's a matter of whether they want us or not. But if you're going to have a neutral location for everything, I like Birmingham a lot better. I think it's just as central, and it's an easier place to get to for most people, easier place to fly to at least. So I would like that. But then I also say we shouldn't have neutral site for the entire tournament, and you shouldn't have 14 teams in the tournament.
Yeah, that's true.
Also, all of that tied to it. What was the you might have said it earlier. What was the vote, or is it like hidden before it closes type voting?
Wait, what?
Like no confidence. Was there like a
it's
poll?
75% confident, or yes, and confidence. Yeah.
That's kind of surprising, I guess. I don't know. You hear a lot of
There's
the teams
a lot of
about them.
There's a lot of activity on the message board from the new schools. So I think that that probably they used the whole Judy logic in their heads to go that direction. And I'm sure the JV people voted no because they're all assholes.
I feel like we were mostly good ads. ODU's is sort of the weird one, in my opinion. I know you guys. Well, I don't know if you agree, Tim, but I know David, you think Jimmy Mads was a bad ad too. I think they were a good ad.
I think that Jimmy Madison was a good ad based off of their performance they've had. They've obviously been an athletic equal to or compatible with everything. I didn't like the fact that we were promoting FCS. Hindsight being what it is, it looks like a slam dunk as far as an athletic program to add. And their academics aren't horrible.
Well, then you get like a Southern Miss that looked like a good ad on paper and has not been great. But I still think those were good ads. I
still like Southern Miss just for the brand identity.
Yeah,
the brand identity is worth it right there alone.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I pride ourselves on we are undefeated against Southern Miss in football. So
I think we're saying Benson did a good job there.
For the expansion, I think he did do a good job.
Those teams wanted to come here. So we can say that he did a good job, and I agree. He facilitated it all happening. He made it happen. But they wanted out. I think that if he had just gotten Marshall and Southern Miss, I think that's a better win. I think he let the new schools push his hand because ODU and Marshall had been pushing for this Eastern Conference to reduce their travel costs, and so they really pushed to get. ODU pushed to get in. Marshall was with them on that and getting Jimmy Madison to get promoted to kind of consolidate that. And although I agree with the additions, it made Georgia State the outlier in the East. We are the furthest school away in the East. We're the first school to be in the West if a West school leaves.
Oof. I don't want to go there.
No.
I mean, like the whole expansion thing too. I think when we were talking about it a long time ago, I didn't think we had to do it. We didn't have to.
I think it was smart at the time. I think with everything going on, it was
It was the trend, right?
if it was just Southern Miss and just Marshall, I think that would have been a real slam dunk to take two of the better brands from the Conference USA and fuck, what the hell is ODU going to do anywhere? And Jimmy Madison would have been promoted to Conference USA and probably would have been a natural rival to Liberty. And who knows what would have happened in
That's
those
true.
games.
Oof.
And really, who cares?
And really, who cares? And but so I don't know.
I get it.
I think addition at minimum we were correct in adding Marshall and Southern Miss.
Definitely.
Oh yeah, those two all day.
And I really think Jimmy Mads has been good, just a great ad, honestly. Like you said, slam dunk.
So on that point, there's another thread going on the Sunbelt message board was if you could combine two fan bases to create the worst combined fan base, or take two fan bases and make them the best fan base. And of course, my immediate reaction was it's got to be Trash Down South and Jimmy Madison to be the worst fan base. But then I was like, but if Coastal's good, they're also a pretty big asshole to have in there too.
That's true.
But yeah,
that's true.
Trash and Jimmy to be the worst.
Easy all day. Yeah.
And the Black and Gold podcast.
Coastal's kind of podcast. Just the podcast though. Coastal's fallen off. It'll be interesting how Coastal does this year. They're not doing so hot.
Well, they better lose their home game this year.
Well, that's just an automatic, right? At this point,
yeah,
it's gonna be crazy. The first team that reverses it.
It can't be us, or you know what I mean.
Well,
we can't be on the losing side of that tradition, because who has any idea how long it's going to take before we can rectify it and actually get it back. Yeah.
Oof.
And it's also just kind of a fun set to have, but when it ends, it needs to end with us.
I mean, that is the craziest stat. I mean, is there any other set of teams that have this?
Exactly 500 record and no home wins at all. It is weird. It's really weird. So,
I wish there was a stats thing that had that, or you could find that out. Like, is there another?
I can query my database. I got to update it, but I can query it.
Please do. I'm curious about this.
Yeah. Our analytics guy.
One of the many projects I've started and then let just go to shit. So. All right. That's pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Seems like it. I don't know.
Wrap up.
Approaching 30 minutes there. All right. Thanks, bye for listening. We'll talk to you guys next week. Say goodbye, guys.
Goodbye, guys.
Peace.